like, sorry.
Welcome, guys, to my Big Brother season 25
Oh,
episode recap. Oh my God! Yes, we are here. I know we're interrupting the feeds. They're good right now.
everybody's on the feed, Tamika. How
We're
much
gonna get more
anybody?
views for this, but
Yes.
guys, we're gonna try to make it worth it because we're gonna talk this out. We're gonna calm everybody down. We're gonna talk this out because we got a 2-hour episode after this. And then we got another whatever episode tomorrow, and it's going to be the wall comp. I heard OTEV is coming. Listen, guys, we are here to discuss everything that happened on the week 5 live eviction episode and the HOH and this front half of the week on feeds because they've been crazy, to be fair. So I'm here with Janelle.
Hey,
Janelle, how are you
guys.
today?
Oh, if you saw us flailing arms when this recording started, we were just flipping out over the feed. So I'm just a ball of nerves right now, watching everything going down. I'm gonna have to ignore everything while we chat, but I'm over here bouncing.
Yeah.
This is why I hate being invested. Like I thought I wasn't, but then all this mess started happening. I'm like, oh my god, oh my god.
See, this is the thing. Like, for me, I have been rooting for two sons in the house the entire time. So for me, I'm just like, which path is the best? Like, I have two people on one side, and it was two people on the other side that I've been rooting for because I genuinely think that they have a good chance to win. And if they win, I'm gonna be happy. But like, if you're not doing that, I feel bad for you because every week it's, oh my God, this person's ruined their game. Oh my God, this is gonna happen. Oh my God, this could happen. Like not every like day, every hour, like every hour. This is how that feels. So yeah, it's been crazy. Today has probably been one of the craziest days on feeds, and that's saying a lot because it's been a crazy season. Like I started watching from last season. I watched live feeds from about what 2-3 weeks in, because I cover Love Island. I cover Love Island USA and UK, and it was absolutely like no way I could watch Big Brother. And everybody's telling me you gotta watch Big Brother. They told me that the season before, and I couldn't do it because Love Island. So this season, only reason why I'm covering is because Janelle convinced me, and because it started late. But yeah, it's been I I think because I came in on Turner's HOH last year, so it was like a chaotic week as it was because it was like
Yeah.
a complete blindside. By the time I came in, Taylor was in like a good spot. I know a lot of people were watching the first 2 weeks and she wasn't. And I did go back and watch those feeds, but it like the chaos that happened week after week after that is literally nothing compared to this chaos wise. Do I enjoy the feeds? Some days. Do I not enjoy the feeds? Some days. It really depends on who's speaking because I'm not like there was literally one person I was rooting for the entire season, and I think I said it to her today in her sub group chat. I just used to follow her around and whatever camera she was on, and then I would be yelling at them if she wasn't on camera. I'd be like, "Where's the camera on Taylor?" Because these people are no. And we kind of got that this week where Sari was like gone for 48 hours off camera, like, or with Felicia, and she couldn't discuss anything. She couldn't game. She couldn't do anything. And so, like, we're getting surface conversations, which are cool, but like, if you're there to watch game conversations, you were barely getting nothing from basically the mastermind. And so, I like absolutely. There's some days where I was like, I can't watch the feed. So I was just reading updates or listening to Tara's podcast or going back. And then there's some days like, oh my God, I don't even know how I'm going to go back to work because This is like so good.
Yeah. Today has me. I hate. This is why I'm sitting here trying to make sure I'm not like wiggling my foot, chicken my computer because I'm just like, oh, these people stress me out, and it's not supposed to be fun. That's why I ask myself, season after season, Janelle, why do you keep doing this to yourself? Because season 23, I was so invested, so invested. Season 23, or I'm sorry, season 24, so invested. This season, but like now that things are going away, when I'm like, oh, I don't want that to happen. I'm like all worked up over it. So I just need to let it go. Whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen.
You just gotta go with the wave. Like, I mean, and to be fair, the power structure that have been kind of running the show have been running the show for it's week 6. They've been running the show for about 6 weeks.
Yes.
I mean, even with the leftovers last season, they were running the show from week 3 to week
2 Split House.
Till Split House, which was like 5 weeks in after that. So it's like, I mean, that was a good run. It's bound to happen. It's bound to happen that, I mean, either way, Cirie is taking a hit. Even if Felicia goes, right. Even if Izzy goes, she's taking a hit. One, probably a bigger hit than the other because just the game is just the game. But yeah. So it's unfortunate. Yeah, it's unfortunate. But let's discuss how we got here.
Okay.
And then we'll discuss feeds. But so we start the last episode that we left off on was Cameron won Tiny Vito.
Yep.
We were all disappointed because we wanted him to be backdoored. We were all like yelling at them. This is why y'all should not have voted out Heisem over him. Still on that. I'm still on that. That was like probably one of their fatal flaws.
Yeah, they should have kept him. I think according to Heisem, he would have been loyal. You know what I mean? Right. And I think some of them were convinced, but Corey.
I mean, for Corey's game, I think I understood. Again, for Corey's game, it did make sense to get Heisem out.
Yeah.
For Corey's game, he probably would have been on the block. If Heisem had won again, he would have been on the block with probably Jared because that's kind of who he was targeting. And so I get it. Maybe Cirie could have talked him off of it. Possible. We'll never know. And somebody said that, like, at this point, he Heisem has the benefit of going out in a place where he was just like, hey, I will be loyal to you guys. And they can't disprove him being loyal.
I know.
So yes, Cameron does use the Tiny Vito to save himself off the block. And as we discussed last time, they had tricked Jag, who was in their alliance, to go up as a pawn. But really, Jag is the target.
Yeah.
Jag is the target. And then they kind of discussed how Jag is going to be the target, and they pretty much lock it in. But we know from the show that locking it in, that was Monday, mean absolutely nothing.
Yes, not with these people.
No. Then they showed a segment about AmeriCorey's showmance, how she thinks of him as a project. I'm going to tell you, I know there's some people who love this showmance. I don't care for it. Not my cup of tea.
I like them. I don't mind them. I think they're cute. I like the dynamic between them. They're fun. I just hope that she really wore that man down. So I hope that she really likes him. That's the only thing. I think they're cute. I like them each as people. I like their personalities. I think they both, I like, while America's just way too messy. She doesn't have a crew to rock with, but I like both their personalities. I enjoy their little dynamic. So AmeriCorey does not bother me. I just think that it is a hiccup in Corey's game. That's all. America doesn't really have a position. She's just really hurt his. But maybe it's a blessing in disguise according to what's currently going down on feed. So
correct. So this is the reasoning, I don't care for them. I just don't like their dynamic. But I also don't like, don't get me wrong, I don't like Blue and Jared's dynamic either. I'm glad that during Jared's HOH we did not get to see them at night at all. I was very happy for that. There was somebody on Twitter talking about, oh, y'all keep switching the cameras off the HOH room. Yes, because why do we need to see that? And then they started doing it with AmeriCorps, and I was like, why do we need to see this? We do not need to see it. And I just feel like, kind of like you said, like, I feel like there was a point where he said he wanted to not do certain things, and then he kind of switched that, and wonderful. But he has expressed that he would be uncomfortable doing sexual things on camera. And I mean, again, I think even Taylor said it, like, if you do it, you do it, and there's nothing you can do. And now at this point, he has a whole article about him on Yahoo, and it's like, I feel kind of bad for him. Also, he's an adult, and I still don't feel bad.
I think, like, I mean, I've seen the arguments people are making about how America consistently pursues him, even though he's clearly communicated his boundaries.
Right.
And I think that if America were a man and Corey were a woman, it'd be
Right.
like there would be way more upset people about that dynamic between them. But at the end of the day, while I wish she maybe would have respected his boundaries and not pushed for what she wanted so much or seemingly wanted, Corey's still an adult man and obviously likes spending time with her, probably wants to cuddle with her at night. Like, I saw a clip of him. She was kind of sleeping and he went over and just like kissed her forehead. Like, while he has communicated his boundaries, he also seemingly has made the choice to cross that line multiple times. So,
and I will say this, I'm only pointing it out because I pointed it out when Alyssa was doing it with Kyle last season as well. Like, I'm not going to be a hypocrite and sit there and be like, oh, it's so cute. No, it's not cute.
Everything. When I say I like their dynamic, that one I understand the gripe that people have. When I mean their dynamic, I'm talking about their playfulness, their conversations, not that specific part of it. I completely understand the criticism that's happening in regards to that. And I don't necessarily love it. Maybe she'll have something to say about it when she gets out. And we'll hear about how Corey feels about everything. So I'm sure he'll protect her. He seems to really like her.
Listen, no man or young man, he's 21, should be a project. Can we not?
I mean, some people don't mind that kind of thing. Maybe she can make him into exactly what she wants, teach him to do exactly what she likes. Like, that's what she seems to be up for. When she shared with Mimi that it wasn't the best kiss, the follow-up to that was, but I could teach him. Like, I think that she's gonna show Corey all the ways that she likes. That's all. She doesn't mind it. Or maybe she wouldn't necessarily be up for a project outside of the house. She's in the house. She got lots of time on her hands. Enjoys the company. Why not?
Let's see. Let's see if she gets to the plane and they're still. She's still up for the project. All right. So they do have a Legends 25 meeting, and as Cerise says, maybe Legends 25 is the real alliance this week. At this point, Legends 25 about to be the real alliance, because might as well be the real alliance, because for real ain't the real alliance, because it hasn't been the real alliance for a very long time now.
It has not. I agree.
And so they do have a conversation just to make Red and Cameron comfortable at this point. Jag is still the target, but they also want to come out of this week not like safe, right? So I get it. And at this point also, Red and Cameron have been pitted against each other, which they are fine with. That's the only reason why they wanted to keep Red, because they're like, oh, they're not going to get back together again.
Right.
Until. But let's and Mimi do kind of say that this is possible.
Right.
And if it's possible, they want to flip the vote.
Right.
But a couple of days later, Red's birthday happens. Red is sitting in the HOH with Jared, and he kind of alludes to what like really tell me what he said. Maybe we could go over. Maybe we can mend this. And he was starting to be insistent, like, let's all three get in the room so I can really know what was said so that we can mend this. And
Right.
alarm bells started ringing off in
They're
Jack's
like,
head.
"Ooh, we can't have that. We cannot have that." Yep, that's when everything started to change.
And so Jared goes to the rest of the alliance and is like, yeah, no, he's got to go. And they didn't really show it on the amount of things that happen on feeds, which sucks because a lot of the impact of it is starting to happen this week. And so I'm sure you and I both know they're going to start flashing back to some of the stuff that happened last week, because it's like literally impacting whether or not this vote goes through or not. It's literally impacting this game
Big
right
time.
now, big
Yeah.
time. So at this point, they all decide they're going to just vote right out. Now, they're not going to tell everybody, of course. They're not telling Cameron because he's supposedly close to Red. They're not telling Bowie Jane because they think she's working with Cameron and Red, which, to be fair, she was. She was.
Yeah.
She was alluding that her allegiance was to them.
Right.
Even with the bye-bye bitches.
Right.
Which is why later on, the way she was acting in the next episode kind of pissed me off. And then they were all set to do it. The rest of the Legends 25, they got America and Corey, who were outside that alliance, in the for real to also come in, and then Jag and Matt, who are in the 7 Deadly Sins. Well, no, at this point, Blue is just following Jared. So Jared's HOH. She's gonna just follow what he wants to do. Plus, at this point, she wants to take whatever shot she can at Cameron because he put her on the block the week before.
Right.
So at this point, they rounded up almost everybody. But then, what is it? Quesadilla gate? Steak gate? Which gate? Which
State gate, I thought.
State gate, Kevin, and Jag, Matt, ate Mimi's
steak. Yes.
And she was pissed. And they do show that a little bit of that part on on the episode, but it was bad. And she went to Felicia and she's like, oh no, we can't vote Red out. Like, we can worry about Red later, but like Jag and Matt, they're gonna hook up together and they're gonna get with AmeriCorey and they're gonna like they're going to come against us. And so she and Felicia were all set to vote out Red. And she tells the rest of the alliance. And so at this point, Cirie and Izzy and Jared can't vote. It's just like, we don't need them. We're just gonna vote without them. Mostly Cirie. I keep saying it, and Janelle laughs when I say it, but some days I feel like Cirie is a bit of a production plant because she's like, oh, we're not gonna have a unanimous vote. We're gonna have a split vote. That's like, which producer was in Cirie's ear trying to give us good TV? And this is nothing against Cirie. You guys, like, if you know me, you know I love Cirie. Like, anything that I say is literally, like I said, there's a couple people on one side of the house and there's a couple people on the other side of the house that I'm like rooting for. Cirie is on one side of the house is the person like I'm most rooting for because I do think she has it to take this game. Hopefully. Now, again, this Big Brother is not Survivor, which is a good thing and a bad thing, because it's a good thing because she didn't win Survivor. It's a bad thing because you do have to be, I feel like, a little more reliant on people, I feel, than in Survivor. And I think she's a little more used to just making her decision and like going with like one or two people to help her like make that decision happen. And so right now her partner is Izzy and Jared, and like to leave Felicia and Mimi out of the vote would have been disastrous for her. And Izzy did figure that out, and at the last minute does say like that the day an hour before the day of was like, no, we can't blindside them. But they were all ready to just allow them to vote to what was it, 4-6 and keep it moving.
Yeah.
And then Izzy had the bright idea, oh crap, no, we can't do that. Right. And so that is what happened, like on feeds that they didn't really show.
Yeah. And I think with Survivor, it is simply enough to have the majority. You could suck at the challenges. Like the challenges can save you sometimes if you're able to win an individual immunity, but they're not as important as they are in Big Brother as far as securing your safety or getting your agenda done. You can have all the numbers in the world, but if your team, if your squad doesn't win, there's nothing you can do except possibly control who goes home of the two. You know what I mean? So that is the difference. And also there's none of this, oh, these two people are up and we have these two people to pick between to vote out. That's why there's probably less flip-flopping. You can vote for anybody. Anybody can throw a rogue vote on. You can vote for literally anybody on the tribe. So the amount of time that people have to sit on this vote and contemplate this vote and flip-flop back and forth, it's just not a thing in Survivor. And all of the time she played, it's different now, but all the time she played, from my understanding, Survivor went in 3-day cycles. You ain't sitting on the block for 4 or 5 days debating this with people and constantly having to assure that you're not going to vote them out and listen to can't, like, all of those things aren't a factor. And I'm sure are very taxing and annoying to constantly have that conversation.
You have to do that. Yeah.
Right. So she just
because even like, was it Survivor? Which was the last season? 44? 45?
Yeah, 45 is about to air. 44 is over, yeah.
Okay, so even on 44, like I was yelling at the TV. I forget which week it was, like when Josh, I think it was, switched over to the green team. I can't think of their names right now. With Yam Yam and Carolyn, and what's her name? And I can't think of her name right now. And they were sitting there like, oh, we're just gonna tell them we're gonna vote for Carolyn. And I was like, Carolyn's gonna go out. Why are you doing this to her? It's like yelling at them, and like she's supposed to be in an alliance with these two other people, but they're like using her as a scapegoat. And so thankfully she saved herself.
Yes.
Against them. And Yamia was upset, but I was like, if she hadn't done that, she would have went out.
Right.
And then it's like they do eventually mend it, but it's like your own, you can do that with like a few people and then get back together and keep it moving. Like it's not like Big Brother at all. So ultimately, because they did that, they ended up telling Felicia and Mimi to switch back to the vote. We did not get a true blindside, except for with Bowie and Cam. And so the vote for Red to go out was 8-2.
Yeah.
Which fine. I didn't have as much of a problem with it as much as y'all got to remember about HOH. Somebody got to win the HOH.
Right. Mm-hmm.
As you're saying, if you don't win, this is what happens. And so that's literally what we're going to see play out. And so we do get a live HOH, and we are going into week 6, which is Humiliverse week. And they do a Humilivision, HOH comp.
Yep.
But it's true false. And I will say I didn't enjoy the videos necessarily because I was like
Girl,
I'm so used to like being able to keep up, and I could not keep up with these.
it was
Like
so. I was like, this is a time where I am embarrassed to say that I love Big Brother. What is this? What are these farts? Counting farts and what color they are? Seriously, y'all couldn't come up with something less stupid? I hated the comp and I tried to pay attention, but I just know myself. I would suck at a comp like that. I would
yeah,
lose
no.
that comp. There was too many farts, too many colors. You don't know what to pay attention to. Did this come before this? It's just like sometimes it's just pure dang luck. And of course, you end up seeing who's freaking lucky. Oh.
Oh my god, it was just so funny. I could not keep up with it at all. Normally, like when they did it last season with the lights, like the little neon lights, I was like, oh, I could keep up with that and count them. And I really got, except for like for some reason the pinks look like purples or vice versa. Anyway, and so that was hard. But other than that, like was able to keep up. I could not keep up with these colors whatsoever. So I did not like this comp in that way because I couldn't really play along. It was really distracting. But we do get that the first two questions, everyone got it right.
Right.
Which I was shocked at. But the third question, Bowie, Matt, and Sari go out.
Mm-hmm.
And then the fourth question, everyone but Cam, Izzy, and Corey go out. And on the fifth question, Cam wins straight out. And that's when nobody in it on the show was celebrating. And
it was so tragic. They were like, Sari was like,
Jared will say later that on feeds that he apparently did something to make it seem like he actually was celebrating. I don't know.
yeah, he did say that.
I just was laughing because it was like,
of course, this is Big Brother. Like that is just for me as a viewer. I swear that so many times the person that I don't want to win the most will win the most. Guaranteed that's what's gonna happen. I pray Mimi can win this dang wall. Please. Like I want that more than anything ever. Yeah. So I don't think she will go for people that I don't want her to go for, which is like I want her to go for. I don't even know who I want her to go for, but I just want Mimi to win it so bad. I need her to beat out America. I need her to beat out Corey. I need her to beat out Blue. I wouldn't even be mad about Blue because Blue's gonna do Jared's bidding. I don't like Jared, but I feel like those will be more nominations that I will personally be happy with. So I'm already worried about tomorrow. Maybe. I don't know why I watch this show. I don't know why I watch this show.
Nobody celebrates, and then we come back after a commercial break, and we find out with Cam winning, he's HOH, but also that means that everybody, because it's Hugh Milliverse week, everybody's a have-not. Everybody has to be on slop. Everybody's taking cold showers. And it's so funny because last season we had like weeks where nobody was a have-not, and so I think only Taylor was the only one that didn't ever be a have-not, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about Brittany. Did Brittany might have also not.
I don't remember Brittany on slop, so
Yeah.
I didn't pay super close attention to all that.
So this one, everybody's been on slop. People are losing weight. It's crazy. So we do go into week 6 HOH episode, which normally we would be seeing this comp on the HOH episode. And I was so glad we did not have to watch that comp. We got to watch the comp live and not on
HOH. Love live comps. I miss them because it's so infrequent that we get them. And I think as a result, Sunday's episode, which we'll get to, was way better than usual.
Way better. Probably one of the best episodes this season, I would say. We just got so much more information. They were able to even go back and throw information in there, which we know they're going to have to do again. And so it's like, yeah, Cameron is livid. He's cussing. In the DR, that was hilarious. I don't like Cam, but that was still hilarious.
It was funny, like watching Cam this week kind of have two faces. He was just very focused on giving people a taste of their own medicine. That's
Right.
it. He was just very focused on giving people that, giving people a taste of what he received. It was like a big wake up call. It wasn't, in hindsight,
Yeah.
was the best move because now he's going to go on a rampage, which we'll talk about.
Right. Like, if I will say, if they had made the vote closer, he probably would have targeted less people because he went off on everybody, to be fair. And if Felicia, I said earlier in the week, because we'll talk about the noms, but I said if Felicia and Mimi had voted with them, I don't think we would have gotten the noms that we got.
You mean Izzy and Felicia?
No. If Felicia and Mimi had voted for Red,
right,
I don't think we would have gotten.
We wouldn't get Izzy and Felicia on the block.
Yeah.
Or it could have been Izzy and Sari.
Right. And so yeah. But yeah, he flips out in the DR. He's out for blood. Felicia sees it. And she's freaking out because remember, she put him on the block against Heisem 2 weeks ago. And 2 weeks ago or the week before? Because when did he win HOH? The week before? Oh, yeah. So the week before Jared, he won HOH, right?
Yes.
No, it was like 3 weeks ago then.
Mm-hmm.
And then Bowie freaks out.
Yeah, Blowy's upset. I think she's just more so upset that she feels like her people lied to her, you know.
Yeah. They did gaslight her a little bit. But I just did not like her whole talking about honesty and integrity and of the game.
All of that talk. I hate all of that talk because to me, it's very hard to play Big Brother that way because you're gonna have to lie. You're gonna have to like, what is Jag doing right now? Like, you know, he's talking about honesty, integrity. I know this is in the head, but he's talking about, oh, we're honest, we're loyal players, blah 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 blah. But you're about to blindside somebody you gave your word to. How is that any different than what they've been doing? You just realized you've been getting played. Like, you finally turned the light on. It's no different. So if he got to the end, that would be one of my questions. You preached honesty and loyalty and you're a straight up player. You blindsided Izzy. So what is the difference between you and me? I did it more, but you didn't. You know what I mean? And I would hold that against somebody because I think they set an impossible standard when they have that standard. I hate that standard.
I hate it.
I want integrity as far as how you treat people.
Correct.
What you're saying about people. That's what I care about. If you're lying to Tamika, if we're playing and you're lying me up, down, left, and right, then that's just, it's game. But if you're calling me a fat pig, like, that's different. You know what I mean? Right. So have integrity with how you treat other people, with how you speak about people. But as far as game, boy, lie up, down, left, and right. If I got to lie to your face to get myself ahead, then so be it. There's a difference between that and all, like, malicious lies and lies for no reason. You know what I mean? Right. I'm lying to you with a purpose because I got to get something done, not just to lie, just for the fun of it, just to toy with you. There's levels to this. So I wish people would stop that honesty, integrity stuff.
And the thing is with Bowie Jane is, I would be like if Jag said it, like you said, Jag saying it is one thing, but I do agree with him. What? He's for the most part been loyal and honest. For the most part.
Yeah.
For the most part. Probably too loyal, probably too honest.
He said
it's been getting trouble. Just zip it a little. But Bowie Jane, you have not.
You don't think? What has she done? I feel like she hasn't done nothing.
She's been rolling with their lines just like all of them.
Rolling with the fake alliance, you mean?
Yes.
Oh, true. Yes, true. And Sari brought that up. She ain't tell him about the bye-byes. You know what I mean?
Like you have your alliances. You don't tell what you don't tell. So we just felt like at this point, even though you are in our alliance, it made more sense for a reason to send them out. Was it a little gaslighting of Sari? Yes. But also fair. But also that's why this week they should have just been like, for my game, keeping such and such that's on the block is better for my game. I will tell you if I change my mind. I will tell you if I make a different decision. Cam is still in this game. I need to do this, this, and this. I feel like in order for me to get to where I need to get to, that's best for my game. I've not heard. I heard that all season last season. I have not heard that once this season. I'm keeping such and such because they are best for my game. The reason why we have not heard that all season is because they're keeping such and such because it's best for Sari's game.
Yeah.
And at that point, just hang it up because you're not going to win until you decide if that keeping somebody is best for your game. Then you're just rolling with. This is why we're getting unanimous votes.
Mm-hmm.
Like there should not always be a house vote because everybody that's going out is not going to be best for your game.
Right. People just get on that. You know, that culture I complain about. They don't want to be on the wrong side of the numbers. And it's so funny to me because it's always clear, at least during that vote, who's pushing one agenda over another. And it doesn't matter if you pretend to be in with the house, you ain't really in with these people, but they just want to appear. I do not get that. I do not get why that is so important to people when clearly you're not with them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Clearly. Like with the Riley vote is the good example. You are clearly pushing hard for Riley to go home.
Yes.
Everybody saw it. Everybody
yes.
saw it.
Yes.
So you flipping to vote Riley out means nothing. Give the girl a vote. She's like, I don't want them to blow up their game. It's not blowing up. They didn't already done it. Fighting for you all week long.
Week long.
So that's why I don't understand why. Oh, at the last second. Okay, but we gotta vote Riley out so we look like we're through with the house.
Ridiculous.
I do not get that culture at all.
Right. And even if they did hold it against Jad because it's like that was your girl. You've been fighting for her all week, but you couldn't give her a vote. It's like that they still like used it against him.
Right.
So yes. So at this point, she's talking that I didn't like it. I don't appreciate it. And I can't feel sorry for her on it. Do they not treat her necessarily that nicely? I agree. But I also do feel like I don't know if I would get along with Bowie Jane. And it's okay, like, to not get along. Am I going to sit there and be calling her nasty names behind her back? No. But I just don't feel. Everybody's like, oh, they have to. Would I figure out a way to keep a game relationship with her? Absolutely. Right. But I don't feel like they have to be friends with her. And this is not helping her case. Like, to sit there and side-eye me because we did what we've been doing, what you've been helping us do, but instead you reverted on the other side. Keeping red might have been good for your game. Keeping red for us was not good for our game.
Right. Right. And it is what it is.
It is what
it is. Yeah. And sometimes I think it appears online that just people have a standard about these people in the house. Like, yes, we don't want racism. We don't want misogyny, nothing like that. Call that out. But just simple human behavior. They don't let them be humans. If you don't like somebody, you don't like somebody. Maybe they're just on your dang nerve. You don't like how they talk. You don't like what they talk about. You don't like that they're self-absorbed. You don't want to participate. You don't want to be bothered. Like, sometimes that is just the case. It doesn't have to be a reason. I don't click with you. I don't have fun talking with you, and I don't want to be bothered. And I feel like naturally, if I were stuck in a house with somebody and maybe me and you saw it the same, I could see us in the storage room venting. Oh my God, I can't stand Bowie. She gets Do you know what I mean? It's like people can't understand that these are still people. When you don't like your coworker at work, if me and you don't like the same coworker, I'm like, Tamika, can you believe what Karen said today? She did
Yeah.
blah, 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 blah. I can't stand Karen. I would
Yeah.
that is just human nature. And I just feel like a lot of times these people aren't even given that. It's like, oh my God, they don't like Bowie. Why don't they like Bowie? Why don't they like America? Why don't they like such and such they don't like such and such for no reason. It's just always, they don't like them.
It's funny enough because I always say, and anybody who knows me knows, my whole thing is I am not for everyone. Everybody is not for me, and that is literally okay. I'm never offended now at like being older at somebody not liking me, because that just means that we just don't have to deal with each other. Fine.
Yeah,
And I'm a big energy person. Like if you know me, I am not big on going into rooms and like being the first one to talk and chatting up a bunch of people. I will always read the energy in the room because it affects me. Yeah. And so I'm not good with negative energy. And even with positive energy, if it's like overstimulating, sometimes I'm just like, okay, guys, I gotta go home. I can't do this no more. Like I've been to parties where I've gone up to rooms and read books because it's just too much. And they like my friends used to laugh at me like, "Where's Tamika?" They're like, "She's up in the room reading or something like that." And it just is me. Like that's me. So I get it. Like you do. There's in no situation do you have to be. Oh my God, you have to be friends with everybody. You don't. As long as there's a mutual respect of, let's say, opinions, let's say, person, like that's all I ask. Just be respectful. I'm not even asking you to like go out your way for me. You know what I mean?
Everybody be respectful. We're all still adults.
Yeah, that's it. So we get that, and then even then we get it, and Felicia kicks Matt out the room, who's also supposed to be in this alliance, and it pisses Matt and Jag off.
Yeah.
Like, why is Felicia doing that? They're in the same alliance. They're in the 7 deadly sins. Why would she be doing that? And they don't realize it's because they're in another alliance with Bowie and the other two.
Yeah.
So Cameron wants to know from Sari what happened. And she does damage control. I don't think it was bad damage control. I think she cleaned it up. She did. Read through you under bets. You guys were in a final 2 named the Chillers. And he's like,
he really was shocked. Yeah.
Did you know that? Why would he do that? What's going on? And I was just like, see, listen, don't ever count out Sari. She said it in the DR. And I will say, I love Sari's DRs. They're fantastic. If we ever lose her, I don't know what we're gonna get. Like,
yeah, she has like realistic DRs. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And so basically throws Red under the bus for him. And tries to clean it up. I do think this also helps her. I do think this also kept her off the block. And so Milliverse sends a transmission. They have that bathroom bullhorn and the stinkometer, and then they have to put on gas masks if it reaches 10. I thought
stupid.
That's dumb. Just
I'm like, really, Big Brother? Oh my gosh. Like, really? Whatever.
So Cameron does bring Bowie J, and they sit in the have-not room. He said, "You're the only person I have," and I, to be fair, again, I'm gonna say they were working together, and that like they wanted to take a shot at Felicia and Sari the week before. You know who stopped that?
Red did.
And so keeping Red might have been the situation here.
Yeah, because I really wish Jag was gone.
Oh God!
I really wish Jag was gone.
Listen, I would wish Jag was gone for most of this week because he's not that great of a player. But we do get an entire segment on his sea culture, which I thought was great, which we would have missed out if he had not been saved by the power. And Jag does make jury at this point, so I am happy for him. It was in question.
I don't necessarily think he deserves to be a jury player, but
no. That being said, he can go at any time for me, but I might be the only one. I might be the
same. And he's my winner pick. I will happily lose. Bye, Jag.
Bye, Jag. So he does they do kind of then rewind time because in order to get us to where we are, a lot of things had been happening for a few weeks that basically played out this week. And one of those things is Felicia and Suri had a final two.
Right.
Then about two and a half weeks ago, maybe one and a half weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Felicia goes to Jared. I think we did mention it on one of our podcasts.
Yeah.
And throws Suri on the bus. And Suri was like, when she found out from Jared, because of course her son ran it back.
Shocked.
I don't think she ever planned on like not bringing Felicia to at least 4.
Right.
And swapping her out if she needed to for Izzy, if she had to. At all. She was shook.
I think that she's just shocked. And also, I don't know why Felicia feels the way that she does. Like what she was saying to Jared, I was like, that was surprising to me. I don't know if she was saying it just for game and just to get another path for herself, or if she really truly felt that way about Suri. That's what was more shocking to me. Not that she wanted to make an alternate plan for herself. It was just that she was kind of throwing her under the bus while doing it. Because she could have done that. You know what I mean? She could have just said, hey, I'm trying. She didn't even have to tell Jared about the Suri final two.
She should not have told Jared about the final two. Y'all are in like two different alliances together, right? They're in 3 different alliances together. Sorry, seven brown sugar and Legend 25. No, is he in the bye bitches? He's not in the bye bitches.
I'm sorry, I'm thinking Felicia. Sorry.
Right. Yeah. So he you guys have 3 alliances together. All she would have had to say is, Jared, I want a final 2 with you. Would that have gone over well with Suri? Maybe not. But it was like she ran her over the bus first and was like, I have a final 2.
Right.
I can't trust her. You got to be my final 2. Now, also, you picked Jared. And I think we discussed it.
Yes, she likes Jared. But I think that, yes, Felicia's mistake was running Suri over. I don't think Suri would have necessarily been upset for Felicia trying to make a way for herself at the end of the game. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
You have multiple routes to the final 2. And that's all she's doing. And if Suri ever had said something to Felicia about it, that's all Felicia's like, girl, look, I'm just trying to make sure I get to it don't mean that I don't want us to rock together, but shoot, if Jared can win and take me, why am I not going to try for that? So I think Suri understand that. It's not necessarily against her, but she put it against her.
Yeah. And I think I mentioned it the last time we did talk about this when it happened, that if she had done this with Mimi, I think she would have been all good.
Yeah.
Because I don't think Mimi would have spilt it and it would have made sense.
Right.
And also, I think it also would have been a viable path to the end for her. And I feel like she didn't because she has some misogynistic tendencies. And so they do bring that back because at that point, Suri was like, me and Felicia. And she started laying the groundwork to get Felicia to be a champion.
Yes. To get a lot of eyes on Felicia right then and there.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then we get Felicia spilling information. Felicia telling Red that he's going to take his cupcake home.
Because she's just not thinking. She's just having like casual conversation and not thinking, which I think can be easy to do. Like, you
Yeah.
know, that was just a slip up. It wasn't on purpose. And I
No.
can see how you're just not thinking about how she's putting her foot in her mouth. I think that's something my behind would probably do. Like, damn, Janelle, you know?
And then we have the Felicia talking in her sleep, which we discussed last week. Which, like, she was singing and all sorts of stuff, and we find out later she does have nightmares in her sleep, and she told who is it, AmeriCorey, heard her.
Yeah.
And she said, next time if that happens, you gotta wake me up, I was having a nightmare. And so yes, we get this again. So it, like, literally just had to rewind, because otherwise you wouldn't get how we end up at the end of this episode. Because at this point, Siri is still cloaked. Nobody gets that she's running the game. Everybody feels good. Even Red going out in interview, he's changing his tune right now. But in interviews, he was still like, Siri was great. I love her. She's a great player. Blah 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 blah. No, nothing. Because she makes people feel good about being, like, you feel like her number two, even if you're not, even if you know for sure, like, you're number 3 or 4, you still feel like number 2. And so then we do get the Cameron and Blue conversation up in the HOH, which I'm gonna tell you, if you are not a feeder, the conversation we saw was good, but the conversation on the feed was so much better.
She was so dramatic. She was putting it on thick. And she, even after she spilled her guts to him, cried and cried to him, she was like, that gotta work. Like, I just spilled my guts to him. Like, she put it on thick for I couldn't even watch I was like, oh, I gotta tap out of this mess. Because it was long.
It was long. It was in the middle of the night, because I think he had just got his HOH. It was hilarious. It was so funny. So like, dramatic. It was so dramatic. And then she's like crying. And he's like, well, Jasmine. She's like, what's Jasmine? He's like, a whole new world.
He
no care.
Cam has thoroughly enjoyed sticking one to these people.
Yeah.
Scaring the mess out of them. And then surprising them with the nominations. Like, he has been playing this all week, just trying to make people paranoid and trying to make people scramble. Like, he set out to do it. So he got his way, that's for sure.
It just very funny, absolutely funny. So we and then we get the Jag and Cam conversation, where Jag, it was not a great conversation, but we do eventually get there. Jag had to, like, basically promise his life. He won't target him. There's no reason for us to target each other. And I felt at the time it was BS, because I was like, it makes no sense for Jag not to target him eventually. But yes, this is what you do if you're on the block. You promise your life to the HOH.
Listen, he did, but I still feel like his pitch was terrible.
His pitch was terrible. Even Taryn had said, if Jag goes into that room and allows himself to get on the block, I have to come up with another number for my ratings, and I said he deserves a 0.
And so he to me just gave little to no pushback. I just, like, but then I saw, well, we haven't gotten there, but then I saw Jag today. He was all fired up. But why aren't you that fired up when you're trying to save your booty?
Save your life. I know.
Yes.
But they did the same. But it was like the same thing I said a couple weeks ago about him going on the block as a pawn, him going up on the block in Cameron's first HOH. He gave little to no pushback.
I don't
He
get it.
fought harder for Riley.
Yeah.
He fought harder to not get Riley on the block.
Yeah. It's like he's timid when it comes to the talking to the HOH. Like he doesn't want to, like he's scared, or he doesn't want to overstep, or he doesn't want to, I don't know what it is about speaking directly to the HOH that's telling Jag they're going to nominate him. He's just way entirely too timid. He does not fight for himself enough. He does not spill when he could spill. So I don't know. Maybe we're going to be seeing a brand new Jag moving forward. I'm doubtful, but it's looking like it's possible at this moment.
Yeah. So they did, whatever he said worked, because we do see Cameron does make a deal. You got to keep your mouth shut, which is like very hard for like 15 like how do you say it?
What are you trying to say?
Like I feel like he just kept going over and over and over, and then eventually was and then he was just like, you got it all out, and then he was like, okay, we're gonna make a deal, because like I get what you're saying, I shouldn't target you, and I was like, okay, you got there, okay, and then it was just like, okay, is he gonna stick to that? So what Cam does is Cam goes to every single person and tells them Blue and Jag is the target. Every single person. Mm-hmm. Not one person. He alluded to Jared that he might do something different because he trusted Jared. He came out of this HOH trusting Jared for some reason. It was weird. But again, groundwork that was laid. Cirie had told Jared, listen, you're not in our Legends 25, but you go up to that HOH and you make friends with Cameron.
Right.
So much so that, because, you know, misogynist to misogynist, they speak the same language. So much so that neither one came out of either their HOH trusting Corey. Mm-hmm. They trusted each other because they spoke each other's language. Misogyny. And so, again, groundwork was laid, and he came out of this loving Jared. So he was giving him bits and pieces of it, bits and pieces, like everybody else. Blue and Jag's target. Even Corey's like, what do you need? Corey had set this up for Cameron to take this shot. Mm-hmm. And this man just knew what he was going to do. He didn't ask for any help. He didn't ask what happened the week before. He didn't ask anybody for nothing because his arrogance would not let him. His ego would not let him. He just knew what needed to happen. And then he did the wrong thing.
And
so it is Humiliverse week, and so we do get not a regular nomination ceremony. We went kind of throwback to, if you ever seen the early, I'm so glad I watched a couple early seasons where I like seen little bits and pieces of all this stuff, because so back in the day they used to have like a key wheel, so instead of it being electronic and you just have the key and you turn it, they would actually have to like
take the key out of a box, like, and they have the actual name, because those were the keys that like were actually on their bags of them coming into the house. And so they have those keys on the bag. They just don't like really mean anything because everything's electronic. But now it's like, so instead of then like you pull it out and it's like such and such a safe, and then it would be a surprise because you would go and then you like find at the end, such and like two people's keys are in the box and that's who is on the block. And so this one, because it was Humiliverse, they did a pie wheel where you threw pies in people's faces. And that is how you determined who was going up on the block. What did you think of this? It's stupid, but whatever. I get they're rolling with they're going all in 1000% with their theme. I guess it was funny. Ha ha ha. It was suspenseful for the people that were sitting there because quickly saw the nominations that Cam told them they had, got pies, so they
Yeah,
knew something was up, right? So I'm sure
yeah,
they were dying inside, sitting there waiting for it to be smashed in the face with a pie.
yeah,
But it was just silly, you know.
yeah. The funny part I thought about it is, I'm a big foodie. I was like, why is it like different pies? Like,
You
like,
would notice that. Like I was
like
like, just send me a link. Send
cherry
me
pie to his face, and I was like, it was so messy.
give me a pie I like at least. Don't give me
Uh,
no lemon meringue.
oh yeah, no, poor Jag, which Jag was ultimately happy for his pie. He does get one,
Right.
but it was orange. He's like, I don't even really like orange.
You better take this pie.
Right. So it was like a bunch of different pies, and he just starts like randomly, like he got to randomly. That was probably the best part of it. And then he also like you said, it's just the suspense of who was actually like it just built up suspense for it. And like literally, normally when we have these nomination ceremonies at the end of the episode, it's like literally like five minutes, maybe 2 minutes sometimes, and this was like 15.
I know.
So he does like you said, Jag and Blue get their pies, and everybody's like, "Ooh," but Felicia puts her tooth back in, and Izzy, who had taken off her glasses, they both knew it was going to be them, and so the nominations are Felicia and Izzy. And at the top of the week, I said that uh, Izzy having uh, Felicia and Mimi change their vote might have saved her life, because I think if it had been the correct nominations, which is Suri and Izzy, or even Jared and Izzy, Izzy would have went home automatically. I don't
Right.
think there would have been any saving
You
with
said
saving her.
Jared and Izzy?
Yeah,
If he ain't blown up mess this week.
yeah. I mean,
If he would have, I don't know. I would hope that they would vote out Jared over Izzy.
right.
Oh,
I like going forward. We both know that that's not even that wouldn't
oh
even be a thing.
yeah. If
But
Jared hit that
going
block,
into this
if
week,
Jared
yeah,
hit that block,
yeah.
he is in trouble of his own doing. I'm sorry, we're getting ahead again, but
Right.
yeah.
Well, I mean, that was it. That was the episode. Other than Cam basically talking about, you know, there was two loyal people in our alliance, and you guys helped vote them out, and you know, one is a like something about one or two is a pattern or something. He didn't want to stick around to be
The
the
third,
yeah, and
yeah,
so like he basically, I mean, he laid it out. Listen, he made the wrong nominations.
yeah.
Um,
He should
he-
he should have done Suri and Izzy
um,
or Izzy
and
Lynn.
and he will find that out later. But yeah, TV wise it was good. Otherwise it was like on feeds it was like he wanted to have them spiral. They did not. Like, just FYI, Izzy did not spiral um like he wanted. Felicia did not spiral like he wanted, because they saw it coming. um and again, groundwork was laid to make this a possibility that certain people didn't hit the block, like Jared and Suri. So it is what it is. So those were the two episodes. Tonight is the veto episode. So we'll discuss a little bit of that, and we'll discuss a little bit of feeds in a second. But it's a 2-hour episode, and then tomorrow it will be the live eviction, and apparently we're going to get another endurance camp.
Mm,
I heard next week, spoiler alert, might be OTAB for veto. So yeah, if you have watched to this point and don't want spoilers or stuff from the feeds, you can head out. But we're going to discuss a little bit ahead of this veto episode. So, spoiler alert, we did get Jared won the veto.
right.
And it
Sounds
sounds
like by default again.
so that is what we will be seeing. And it sounds like it was the what is it? Not luxury comp. Like
Like comp where you could pick a reward as opposed to veto. So
reward comp. That's it. Yeah. And so yeah, ultimately I think it was like Matt could have gotten a veto from Jared, and Jared and then he told Jared to keep it because he didn't want to make the decision. And good play on Matt, because Matt chose a prize that he thought was going to be fun. But I mean, it's been fun. Just like watching you on feeds, it's cute. And it's made you a little bit endearing to Matt. And going into this, he wasn't necessarily my favorite person. I still don't like sometimes the way he talks about certain people. He is a little bit misogynistic as well. But
I'm hoping he's one of those. Let's have an educated conversation so maybe you can realize,
right.
there's some people that say things and I would feel like, you know what? I think that if somebody could just sit down and explain to whomever why this is this way or why it's perceived this way or why this is problematic, that person would take a vested interest in correcting that. I feel as if Matt is that type of person. That's what I'm hoping and watching him and all his other interactions and everything else about people.
No, I'm not streaming the episodes. Right now you can find them on Paramount Plus. I don't stream episodes anymore because they've taken my Twitch channel too many times. Because I used to stream Love Island USA episodes and they just be taking my channel, and I like to keep it. Yeah, so I agree. Like, and for Matt, I think at this point he wants to ride the middle, and so it makes sense to do what he did. So we do get like Jared complaining, knowing that because when he comes back, he finds out. We find out on live feeds that Karen wants to use the veto to put Sari up against Izzy. And he literally told Jared, and Jared was still complaining that he didn't like
when the vacation. And Blue's like, I'll take you on a vacation anywhere you want. I'm like, I can't deal. Yeah. Jared this week has really, really, really contributed to where things are going. And I cannot wait until that realization hits him, which I don't know if it will, and that realization hits his mother. Because it's a shame. Like, she was out of commission for 48 hours, and this man could not sit down and shut up. He threw
that's another thing.
He threw so many people under the bus that he did not need to speak ill of. Corey, fighting with Corey constantly, like leaking information. Everybody talked about Sari having an unfair advantage with Jared in the game. Maybe for the first week or two when he was double agent and running back in, like, literally.
Even then, remember, he couldn't keep his mouth shut. He got found out on stuff even then that he wasn't supposed to know.
But that him having the ability to run back allowed Sari to really build something. I think she would have done it regardless, but having all the information allowed her to build something on her side. Like, it was a positive, even if he didn't do it perfectly, right? It was a positive for her in her game and getting information and knowing how she needed to play and make the steps forward. But ever since then, he is just a liability. Like, he is just a liability. Like, I want him and Cam out next. And I almost want Jared to go first. I don't know what Sari is going to do if that situation happens. She may throw herself on the sword and say, vote me out. I don't know. I hope she does not do that. The fandom will not like that. But I could see her doing that. She's already talked about that. But I really hope he goes out, and I almost want him out more than Cam, because that's what I think needs to happen for Sari to rebuild something at this point. I want her to be able to rebuild something And I
So
know I'm supposed to have all the faith in the world in Queen Cerie, which I do, but I'm like so nervous. So nervous.
So during the veto comp, Cerie does get picked to, and I think she expressed she wants to be picked to be tied to Felicia for
Yeah.
48 hours. Now, I do think it would have been great strategy for her, because then that means that Felicia could not
Talk game.
talk game and go against Izzy in any way. But
Mm-hmm.
it ended up being just a hindrance because her son couldn't keep his freaking mouth shut.
I
He
know.
went up to the HOH and just talked too much. And we saw this week one when he was on Slop the first week, and I'm not making him an excuse, but like this is him, because he was doing it during his own HOH where he was like talking about America for no reason, called her that nasty name. Like it just open his mouth too much. All he had to do was I even said it about Jag, but like he was even worse. Like, exit the HOH. You don't have to still be here running your mouth. And so he literally threw Corey, America, Matt,
Mimi.
Mimi, Felicia, who didn't he throw under the? He threw everybody under the bus.
Cam spilled it all. Like and then he is the ultimate wake up call in regards to Jag and Jared. Jared ran everything Jag said back to Cam, and Cam told Jag. Like, it's just he royally like messed this week up.
Yeah,
I'm so upset about it, and I need her to somehow come to an understanding as to how this came to be and how Jared contributed to it, so she can slap him upside the head. Like, I don't know if Jared's game can be salvaged after some of the mess that he did. I don't think he's good enough to salvage it.
I don't think he's good enough to.
You know what I mean? But
Cerie can absolutely repair her game after this.
right.
I don't think Jared has the game competitive prowess in order. He might win another HOH. I'm not putting it past him. Because again, he's a guy. A lot of them are physical.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see him being able to talk his way back into these people's good graces. So we do get that. Again, spoiler alert, he does, after all of this throwing under the bus and talking about maybe putting Matt up or Jag up, and then teasing America, Corey, Jag, Matt about them possibly going up. He does, I think he even did it to Bowie. He does eventually not use the veto. So our nominations are locked.
Then all that was for what, Jared?
For nothing. For tomorrow. The nominations are locked for tomorrow, where it's Izzy versus Felicia. And we were good. Izzy, after Cerie got untethered, she had all the votes. Izzy, she went to work. She cleaned up what Jared had, most of what Jared did. But then all of them under the bus and told Cameron everything. And Cameron basically has been on the warpath ever since, because he found out Jared and Cerie played him. And so after that, he started spilling to everybody. He started with Corey and told Corey, Jared is coming after you. And not only that, who was it? America spilled that Matt and Cerie both played for the power. He did not know that. And so at this point, Corey realizes the alliance he thought he was in with, he's been out with. And so he lost, all trust in Jared, gone. All that running his mouth, I think he would have been okay if he hadn't run his mouth on him, if he maybe was just doing it to America. I think he would have been fine. But the fact that he knew he had, no loyalty, no confidence, as they would say on Star Wars, and Jared, he could not trust him anymore. He was out, and so he started making a way. And so yes, they have rounded up Jag, Matt, Mimi, Bowie, they are trying to form a counter alliance, which America loves. I don't personally think
He is giddy with excitement.
I don't think personally voting Izzy out is the best for Corey's game, because that was one of his ways paths to the end. I do feel like he did a lot of cleanup today on feeds in order to make a couple more paths to the end, but I'm still not seeing exactly where he's going to go, because I personally don't see America lasting in this game. She burned a lot of bridges with what she did for Cameron,
Yeah.
which I just don't. I also think was not a good play. So whereas yesterday Felicia was going out, at this point, 8 o'clock, we're about to watch this veto ceremony. Izzy might go out tomorrow, guys. Izzy might go out tomorrow. Natalie says Blue did not win it. No, she absolutely did
Really
not.
did not.
And
Yeah.
she doesn't do it in her DRs either. I can't stand them. They sick me.
Yeah, today has me like, I was like so like, oh my god, I have to go podcast. Like, I want to watch that feed because they were just on fire. I cannot, to me, from my perspective, Corey had been going back and forth with America about voting out Izzy. He did not want to do it. He wanted to keep with Izzy. But then America opens her mouth, pisses Izzy off, and Izzy's like, she gotta go, she gotta go. And then just like Kyle last season, they were trying to get Alyssa, and that was the ultimate break from the leftovers for him. That's when he started playing a whole different thing. That's what Corey's doing. Like, they threatened his showmance. He doesn't want her to go out.
Yeah.
And now he's trying to play. He doesn't see a path with Jared, sees Jared targeting him, has all this information, doesn't see a path forward with Izzy and Cirie and Jared anymore. So he's letting it all hang out. And he's serious because he has exposed. There's no going back.
There's no going back.
There's no going back. You got to do it now.
He basically took the baton from America, who burned every bridge possible, and was like, I'll take that baton and I'm going to take it to the next station and burn everything down. Burn it down, as we say.
Yeah. I mean, he's potentially starting something with a new crew. I don't know. My only thing is, I love Felicia. Love her presence, love her personality. I enjoy her in the house. I just think Izzy is a more capable player that I have more faith in overall as a player.
Same.
And I also, Cam has just been smug all week. He has just been cocky, smug, like taking pleasure in playing with people. I really wanted to see him not get his way, no matter what the way was. I just didn't want him to get his way. I wanted Cirie to outplay him in his face.
Yep.
I wanted it so bad. So like, that is also part of my annoyance. Like, really, y'all gonna like, and I know they're not doing it for Cam, they're doing it for themselves in their game. But my only solace in all of this, literally, my only solace in all of this is I feel like eyes are even further from Mimi.
Yes.
And I need her. I don't know what she's going to do, what ally she's going to have, who she's going to latch on to, because I don't see her targeting Cirie or Felicia, even though she might move to the other side. She's going to target other people, hopefully, if she's smart. But I just need her. If I can have a lot less faith in Cirie and her side and how far they can make it, I at least need Mimi. Like, come on, Mimi. Like, at least this is good for her. That is my only solace in all this. I just need her to find somebody to rock with, for real.
Yeah, same. That was the only thing for me because I was ranting at Corey on Twitter, like, this is dumb. You just, like, what is your path to the end? America, who is literally the next target. And then he sat down and had a conversation with Mimi, and I was like, okay, I can do this.
But Corey, Jag, who might be better with better advisement, hopefully. Corey, Jag, Matt, America, Mimi is a solid crew that can win comps and do some things.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, oh, but that's not what I want. But it's gonna go how
when this all started, my counter alliance was Mimi, America, and Corey. My thing was Jag was too in on Riley, and I didn't appreciate how he just threw, because he helped build that alliance, the handful and all of that, like, and he kept those people out of there. So like I said, Jag can still go now. So let's discuss, if Sari loses Izzy tomorrow, and then eventually loses Jared, like we said, maybe next. Who does she bring to the end?
I don't know. And I'm hoping that with Sari seemingly disarmed, right?
Mhm,
That she can rebuild something.
mhm,
I think that she can get to some of these people,
mhm,
like Corey, like
mhm,
Matt, and potentially Mimi. I don't
mhm,
necessarily think that if they get rid of Izzy and then soon after Jared, I do
mhm.
not know what Cerie's gonna do if Jared's on the block and seemingly going. Is she gonna throw her out? Like, is she gonna throw herself on the sword? I don't know because she has said she would, and she's like,
Mhm.
there are people are gonna be mad, but I didn't. And I get it. She's a mom. Like I did this 25 million times. Let my kid have, but that's hopeless. Like there's no hope for him. Not zero.
I
Not
know he's done. Like that. Like kind of what you were saying. Like she kind of needs to know that. Like, if you throw her yourself on the sword, he's just gonna go out the next week. Like,
right. You're
he's
not.
done.
You're not
Done.
doing anything. There's no hope for him. Like I
No.
need her to realize that. But
Yeah.
yeah. So watching all of this unfold, I'm just like, oh my god, I don't like it.
So now she had said yesterday she wishes she could swap out Corey for Matt, and she
In
wanted
what?
to bring like the alliance that they have, Izzy, her, and Jared, and they would bring. They were. She was also thinking last week she could bring Matt to like Final Four, Final Five,
Mm-hmm.
um, and I kept saying, you bring him to Final Five, you lose.
Mm-hmm.
You bring him to 4 or 3, you lose. But if at the end of the day, Sari, after losing Izzy, after losing Jared, gets to the final 2 chairs with Matt, can she win this?
I guess it depends on how the rest of the game goes. You know what I mean? I think she's naturally want someone that has respect of the house as far as her gameplay. They know she's been a kingpin.
Right.
I'm just hoping that her losing Izzy and potentially losing Jared in the near future results in her being people not worrying about her at the forefront
Mhm,
of their mind. Corey was willing to ride to the end with Sari
mhm,
because he didn't fear her in the end game. He
mhm.
knows he can beat her. So I'm hoping he still keeps all of this swirling. And Corey, why you got to get rid of Sari? She could be an asset. So
Right.
I truly don't know what her plan is going to be. All these things happen, she'll make the best way she can. But I truly don't know. I'm curious to see what people like Taryn have to say about this because I truly don't know what it is.
I think it might be a close vote. I'm gonna tell you the truth. If she brings Matt to the end, I think she could probably even still with a. If she brings Felicia to the end, I think she beats her. If she brings Mimi to the end, I think she still beats her, but I think Mimi can make a case. If
I
she
don't know.
brings Chloe to the end, I think it'll be close, but I think she still wins.
I think it
Um,
just depends on we have how many more days? 50 something? Like we have
mhm.
50 something. There's a lot more games. So I just think depends on how the rest plays out. I have zero opinion on that. Like nothing because I have no idea what's gonna happen. If Suri after this just needs to sit back and let other people take a back seat for a minute. That's honestly what I think.
I don't even know if she can do that.
She
Like,
might not be able to. I mean, she needs to protect herself, but I mean, she doesn't need to try to be in control. I don't know. I don't know
yeah.
how she's gonna play it, and I'm interested to see how she plays
I
this.
and that's the thing. That's why I want her still here. I want to see how she rebounds because I have faith in her. I have faith in her still being able to get to those 2 chairs. That's
Mm.
the thing. Like, I still have faith in her.
Okay.
So, oh my gosh, guys. So we are going to wrap up. So much could happen. And we're still about 24 hours to one. Yeah, it's 8 o'clock tomorrow, right? Yeah, 24 hours till the nomination, the eviction episode. So anything can happen. This is the Waffle Wednesday. So, uh, As always, guys, follow me on Entertainment in Color everywhere. And where can they find you, Janelle?
I'm just Janelle Michaud on everything: Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and all my Facebook groups that I run. Janelle Michaud, you'll find me there tweeting about the show and how stressed this has me. Hopping on with silent podcast for Big Brother, some for the challenge as well. And I'm just going to be so sad if come Monday I'm talking to Izzy. Like, I'm super excited to speak to her, to tell her how much I enjoyed her this season.
Yeah.
But ma'am, I can't wait to say, girl, it was Jared. Jared
Oh
is
my
horrid.
God.
Oh my God. Can you like wait till she find like I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Wait till she finds all this out. Wait
Yeah.
till she sees how gains an understanding as to how this came to be. Just wait. Just wait.
Yeah. Yeah. So guys, we will see you next time. Have a good night. Go watch
Bye,
the
guys.
Vigo episode. Bye.